Hey guys, Sorely B in the place to be. I will be leaving Doron Yoga in a couple of days, so I just made a quick video to show you guys some things that I planted just in case they get taken out or maybe needs a bit of extra maintenance. So here we are at the back entrance of Doron Yoga, and then if you will look, if you're facing the door and look to the left, you'll find a piece of land, and yeah, there's loads of things growing here. If you look carefully, you'll be able to see. This is a herb. This is a herb. This is a herb. This is a herb. This is nasturtium. This is edible flower. This is cilantro. And yeah, this is it needs a bit of weeding, but I don't want to step too much on the soil. Here's some salvias because the soil is nice and juicy, and none of the weeds are interfering at the moment, but at some point it might be good to just go and check up on this area and make sure none of the beautiful herbs are being impinged on by the weeds. This is a ground cover called false pigeon, and I planted a couple of them, and hopefully they can cover the ground. But if you weed them by mistake, it's okay. But if you notice them, it would be good. Here's the massage rooms, and as you can see here, I planted a couple of flowers. They're going to start coming up soon, so just don't pull them. Here's the yogashala, and you'll see there's a couple of flowers coming through here. Just try not to pull them. By the way, I planted a lot of pigeon pea because it's a nitrogen fixer and it gives food. This is what it looks like. Please don't pull it. So yeah, just get acquainted with what pigeon pea looks like. It's a really good permaculture plant. So yeah, just get acquainted with what it looks like. Henry calls it candula. As you can see here, another pigeon pea. Please don't pull it out. I guess for me, one of the most important things is not to pull the mulberries. I planted a bunch of mulberries. They will produce amazing fruit, and they are drought tolerant, which means they don't need much watering during the dry season. So here's one of them I planted. But actually, so it looks like a stick in the ground with a piece of plant coming out of it. Actually, this one is not doing very well, but hopefully it will survive. Compost. This is my herb spiral area. The rainy season should do a good job of establishing this area, but sooner or later they'll be needing some weeding and some watering. Mirror. Here on the left, a bit wild here, but there is growing a mulberry. Mulberries are going to save the planet. I passionately believe that because it's drought tolerant. You know, it's not difficult to grow, and it produces delicious, healthy berries, high in protein. But yeah, there's also a pigeon pea here, a raspberry, basil. But most important for me is this baby mora. Please don't pull it. This is what the baby pigeon peas look like. This area was getting a bit waterlogged, So I filled it with compost and planted malangas. They're just getting started. As we're coming into the garden, here pigeon pea. The guys in the garden know what pigeon pea is. We've got coriander going to seed. Would be nice to collect the seed for the coriander. And then coming to this section here, we got malanga. We have a big mora tree, the first mulberry tree that I planted and looked after during dry season. We got an orange tree here, pretty obvious, but it's just establishing itself now. I moved it there because it's in a better position. Sun has a lot of sun. Before it was just completely in the shade. And look here, here's another couple of mora trees. So yeah, get used to IDing them. See all the pigeon peas coming up here. Coming around the corner here of the garden. This is a kind of wild section, but look here, you can see some mora, aki. These are going to be beautiful fruit trees or bushes, depending on how you want to prune it. This is the sweet potato section. They're thriving here because the soil is big and juicy. Probably needs to do a bit more work on this area, but yeah, just don't pull these. Here's the garden, and see here, this tree is a great little tree. It has edible flowers, perfect for salad. This is the first one that I got established, so just please don't get rid of this one. It's a bit of in a wild section where the tap is, but all that stuff is not necessary, but this would be cool to keep, because you can also propagate it and plant it in different places. So yeah, this is the shed area where all the tools are, but behind the shed area is a kind of more wild area. And so what I did was, when the rainy season started, I cleared some spaces and planted mora trees, because yeah, this gives them more space to grow, and the rainy season will water them and establish them, and then during the dry season they won't need to be watered, and in a couple of years they'll be sprouting a lot of mora fruit, a lot. So it's definitely worth making a 5-minute walk to go out to the garden to collect the mora berries. But I kind of have them under control. But maybe I'll make a few trips back here and just make sure that they're not being completely overtaken by weeds. So yeah, that's just in the big space behind. Whoa! That's just in the big space behind the tool shed. It's accessible, but it's just a bit more wild. Walking up to Casa Jardin. This is, it looks kind of obvious because it's tied up to a stick, but this is a tree tomato, and that's gonna produce really, really nice fruit, and it's very nice tree for this climate. And then from the tree tomato, for what it's worth, here in between the lechuga, don't be offended that I planted a kind of nice, beautiful looking flower that's coming up, and once it's grown it can be propagated and planted around to make this place look more beautiful. Personally, my personal opinion with the raspberries is they could do with a bit of a trimming once in a while, just because then there will be less energy put on the leaves and more energy put on the fruit. Looking up from Casa Jardin, as you can see here, I planted a bunch of cool stuff all along there, and then the guys have beautifully weeded the whole area, eradicated all the topsoil, so it kind of looks nice. This would be a perfect opportunity to plant stuff before it gets overtaken by other weeds again. So yeah, I've got a bunch of sunflower seeds, and it would be cool to plant them around. So actually, I don't know what a sunflower seed seedling looks like, but I'll post one in the video so you can learn to identify it, and then that will be so cool, because then there'll be sunflowers popping up everywhere, and it will contribute to the biodiversity of this place and the whole village, and also just look beautiful with big sunflowers everywhere. Here's another tree tomato. As you can see, that's the Tamascal, and there's the tree tomato, and the guys have weeded it all beautifully around it and left the pigeon peas and some ornamental flower and tomato bush. This is amaranth. It's good to be able to ID this. Yeah, actually this is an edible leaf, and it grows super well in this climate. We actually don't eat it in the kitchen, but we definitely should. So yeah, it's just a nice plant. And there's a purple version of this, which I planted in the herb garden outside the Buddha cafe, and that also looks beautiful. So it'd be really cool to like plant some purple amaranth. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. Just running back to the garden. So yeah, this is the pumpkin area. We got a couple of giant pumpkins. Now, I read that it's only ready that if you pierce your nail into it, it's not soft. But right now it's still piercing in the nails piercing the skin of these pumpkins. So I take this as a sign. This one's a bit better. This was definitely before. I take this as a sign that they're not ready, but maybe this one will be ready soon. So when you put your nail on the skin, hopefully it will be ready when it's strong. See, look, that's my nail piercing the skin. So that's an indicator that it's not ready. Technically this is a weed, but also making beautiful flowers, good pollinator. Can't go wrong with just leaving it there. Create biodiversity. Look, this you can eat the flower, and you can put it in salads. It looks good, tastes good. Happy birthday, Doron. I hooked you up. Here is lettuce seeds that have bolted, so be sure when the seeds come out to take all of them. You know what they say, the more lettuce seeds, the more lechuga in the future. Alright, so we're taking the shortcut back to the Buddha cafe, and on your left is the thingy thing that I created. Now this is really cool because it's a bed that I made with banana chunks. In the middle here is a tactically placed tree tomato because it gets sun a lot of the day, and so it's gonna hopefully grow into a healthy tree tomato. Then you got also these awesome flowers, and I know it's not in the client's path, but you can take cuttings from these and plant them all around. So this is just kind of like a starter plant. This is also another beautiful starter plant. This is also another beautiful starter plant. So you got lots of colorful flowers that can be spread around to make this place look even more beautiful. Here's a candula growing, so you're gonna get some peas here. And this is Malabar spinach. I love this spinach. This spinach is amazing. I'm trying to just get it started up, but it's a perennial, so it doesn't even need reseeding, and like once it gets going, you're just gonna have spinach all the time. So yeah, just like it's gonna produce seeds. Don't kill this plant. I showed this to Doron a while back. He liked the taste of it, and I also like the taste. Super healthy, super good for this environment to grow. We're going to the secret place, going to the secret place. La 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 la. Yeah, so hate's gonna hate, but yeah, I planted a mulberry here. Spread the legacy. See, it's almost starting to get shrouded by weeds, so I'll just do one more clearing so they have nice space to grow up above the canopy. I wish I had more time to plant more mulberries, because then this whole forest area could just be a mulberry mecca, and you will just have loads of mulberries all the time for your breakfast. Very low carbon footprint. Mulberry in the forest, and here's another mulberry got established, and here's another mulberry established. Mulberry. So I believe that we should all aspire to create environments where we can grow as much food as possible within our vicinity to, you know, stop consumerism, the movement of food going all over the place, because it's obviously not working and causing, you know, the soil to be degraded and all that stuff. So yeah, grow food. Permaculture revolution. I truly believe that we can create sustainable environments where we can survive, as long as we keep planting mulberries and pigeon peas. Actually, pigeon peas is great food for chickens, so you can create like a system where you feed the chickens pigeon pea, and then you can eat the eggs from the chickens, and you can also eat the pigeon pea, which is high protein, super healthy, and mix it with chia. We have a lot of chia around here, and yeah, that's how you survive. Actually, we don't really need to feed the chickens pigeon pea. It can just be a bit extra because we just feed them the leftover scraps of the yogis. Anyway, I wish you good luck, guys, whoever's taking over. Yeah, oh, one more thing. See this is a milper system. You got the corn here, you got the beans climbing the corn, and then, I mean, there is usually a ground cover, which is a squash, but that's not growing right now, but it's still fine. We got this bean climbing the corn system. So don't think this bean is a weed, because it's not. It's climbing the corn, and it's going to create biodiversity and actually put nice stuff into the soil for the corn. So yeah, that's just a milper system live on my own land. Check it out. Yeah, if you need any more help or any more questions, just let me know, and let's go with the flow. Save the planet. Peace and love. Over and out. Lechuga, lechuga, beautiful lechuga. Also, if you don't know, in between these lechugas is arugula. And arugula grows really well between lechugas because it gets protection from the sun. It doesn't like full sun. So yeah, just keep an eye out for this arugula. It's perfect for salad, very delicious. And make sure you can get the seeds for next time. Adios, garden.